Deep inside of the jungle of Borneo lies one of the last truly wild places left in Southeast Asia. For the next 4 days we'll be leaving civilization behind and head deep into the jungle on the Kinabatanga River, hoping to find wild orangutans, crocodiles, elephants and whatever else was hidden deep inside of the rainforest. What's up guys, welcome back to Borneo and welcome to the Kinabatanga River here at the Sukau Rainforest Lodge. For the next 4 days we're going to be staying here at the Kinabatanga River, exploring this area, seeing a lot of different animals and staying at this incredible lodge, which is a National Geographic accredited lodge called the Sukau Rainforest Lodge. We just arrived after a 2.5 hour boat ride from Sandakan. Arrived about 1 hour ago, but already now we are headed out on our first river safari, and I promised my son that we will see some saltwater crocodiles, so I hope that I can keep my promise. So when visiting Borneo and going on the Kinabatanga River, there's so many animals to see. But one thing you should aim for is what they call the Borneo 5, which is the hornbill, it is the saltwater crocodile, it's the proboscis monkey, it's the Pygmy Elephants, and then of course the man of the jungle, the big orangutan. The hornbill and the saltwater crocodile and the proboscis monkey should be more or less 100% to spot while you're here. The orangutan you should be lucky, and with the pygmy elephant you should be very lucky, as I understand. But we are still to see the first one in real life. After 10 minutes on the river, just arriving here, we already spotted the Pygmy Elephants, which can sometimes be pretty hard. I have a friend who was here a week or two ago, and they spent the whole vacation here without seeing any. So right now we are super lucky, and there's just as many as 20 or 30 and babies, and great start. So we just back from our first river cruise, which was amazing. We were super lucky. After like 10 minutes we saw a big horde of pygmy elephants, which are some of the most difficult to spot while you're here because they are migrating up and down the river. So sometimes if you book yourself into the Sukau Lodge or the Sukau area, then all the elephants is further downriver, and the opposite if you book yourself in that direction, they're up here. So we were super lucky. We've seen actually 2 of the Borneo's Big Five. We also saw the hornbill, but it left before I could take a picture of it, and then it doesn't count. So I need to get everything on camera. So right now we got the elephants, and tomorrow we hopefully gonna see a lot more. So we're on the way back to our villa here at Sukau Rainforest Lodge. And this day has been, it's been a long day, but so much stuff As happened, we woke up this morning at the Sebilok and went straight to the Orangutan Rehabilitation Center, which you can see in my previous video. Then we went and watched the sun bears, went to Sandakan for some lunch, and then afterwards a 2.5 hour river ride full speed here into the deep rainforest where we are right now. We got 1 hour break and then we went on a 2-hour river safari where we, as I said before, was lucky to spot the wild elephants. So right now we are a bit tired. We have about 1 hour until dinner, and then it's early to bed and up again at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning for the early morning river cruise. So yeah, the intro, the hook, everything for this video has been a bit rushed, but we haven't really gotten 5 minutes to sit down and relax today. So yeah, just take it in, and hopefully we're gonna see a lot of exciting stuff while we are here. Just a quick room tour of our villa at Sukau Rainforest Lodge, which is pretty nice. I think you can book yourself into 2 types of rooms. There's the villa, and then there's I think a normal hotel room. Like, got a normal bed, and then Victor is here, so we got his own bed that can be removed. Pretty nice outdoor area here, just directly into the jungle. And a mini bar with some iced coffee, and yeah, in the bathroom. Pretty nice. And a pretty large shower, which I look very much forward to going into a little later. So we just done with dinner, and Susan and my son Victor just went back to the villa. Just out here for a quick evening night stroll on the broad walks here at the Sukau Rainforest Lodge. I would say in the evenings where the rainforest really comes alive, with all the sounds. You can hear the monkeys and the cicadas and all the different bugs. And where I'm at right now, it's they call it the hornbill broad walk. Don't really know what it is, and there's some blue UV stuff going on behind me. I don't know if it's to attract animals or whatever, but yeah, I'm out here trying to see if I can spot anything, but it's probably gonna be a short walk. I'm tired and we have to go or wake up tomorrow at around 5 o'clock. But a snake or a big nasty spider to close off the evening of the day will be nice, at least for content. Not gonna lie, it's dark out here. Check it out. Can't see nothing before you make fun of my skin colors. Yeah, I'm smiling. But there's absolutely completely dark out here, and it's a bit eerie because there's these monkeys that is, yeah, you don't know. You have the nasty snakes, all the other good stuff that out here to get you. So probably gonna be turning around in a minute. Regarding the snakes, you know, I'm a little fascinated by the poisonous snakes, but as I understand, the most common one and the one that I spotted 2 or 3 times now, first at our hotel in Kota Kinabalu, and then afterwards yesterday at the Sebilok, was the green pit viper. And the thing about that is all the guides and what I've read is that they're sitting on the same tree for weeks and waiting for prey to approach them. So they're not out actually, you know, hunting you. And the only time you'll get into trouble with them is if you go into the same branch or leaf that they sit on. They're also pretty easy to spot when you light at them because there's this bright neon green color. So yeah, they stand out a little bit. Right now I'm just rambling because it's like talking to somebody when you're out here all alone. I'm probably turning out in a minute, but let's see if we can find anything. I'm gonna be heading back now. I don't really know why I'm running around trying to find something, because if I light into the jungle and I see a monkey or something, I will definitely shit myself. So yeah, I think I will call it a day, and have to wake up tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock, and then we are off on our sunrise boat cruise to hopefully spot some nice animals. So see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is 5:30 and the hotel just knocked on our door and woke us up. The first morning river safari is at 6. So the way it works is they wake you up, you get a very light breakfast, a cup of coffee, and then it's a 2-hour river cruise to start off the day. So let's get going. Alright, so we got out of bed and are on our way to the pier. As I tried to say before, the way it works is you wake up, you get a cup of coffee, you get a very light breakfast, and then it's a 2-hour river cruise, and then when you're back at the lodge at around 8 o'clock, then you get a full breakfast. We arrived yesterday, so we're still to find out, but my understanding is that the way it works here is that you have included in your trip normally 2 river cruises, one in early morning and then one in the afternoon, and then during the day there's different activities that you can sign up for. Some educational stuff around about the animals, and also you can go for jungle walks. And there's also a pool here, so if you just want to chill the whole day at the pool between your river cruises, then you can also do that. So but now we are on the pier and we're ready for our morning cruise. So onto the river, and as said yesterday, that our goal on this trip for most people is to watch the Borneo's Big Five, and we already was lucky yesterday to watch the Pygmy Elephants and also the hornbill, even though I didn't get the hornbill on video. So hopefully we'll see one more today. But the chances of spotting the saltwater crocodile should be the best in the morning time. So hopefully we're gonna see one of those. And then I know my son, he's really into the proboscis monkey as well. So yeah, let's see what we're gonna spot this morning. So 5 minutes in and we already were lucky to see the proboscis monkey. I'm about to say the nose monkey every time I'm talking about it, because in Danish it's called the nose monkey. But no, the proboscis monkey is the one with the big hanging nose, which is endemic to the area of Borneo. Spotted a crocodile here.
The biggest in the world.
So we've been on the river for the past 2 hours, and it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. We are on the way back to the lodge to get some proper breakfast. A very nice morning cruise. We managed to spot I think 2 or 3 different kind of hornbills. We saw 2 crocodiles and some monitor lizards, and then a lot of proboscis monkeys, which should be easiest to spot in the morning. A couple of other kind of monkeys as well, and some birds. But yeah, super nice first morning here, but now it's time to get back and have some proper breakfast.
sitting at home and getting inspired to book your own trip here to Borneo and to the Kinabatanga River, you might find it's not that easy as booking every other holidays, because these places along the river is not on booking.com, they're not on Agoda, and they're not on hotels.com. So you have to reach out to either a tour operator or directly with the lodge. Go to the homepage and click the inquiry, and you can get a price for when you want to come here. We booked via a Borneo-based tour operator called Eco Tours, who has a couple of different lodges here, whereas one of them is the Sukau Rainforest Lodge that we are at right now. We booked a tour called the Orangutan Search, which is a 4-day and 3-night tour where everything is more or less laid out for us. There's activities from we wake up till we go to bed, and we've just been home after our morning cruise and had 1 hour break, and now we are on to a jungle walk for an hour or two. To be honest, I don't know, but we're just following the program. So the lodge here at the Sukau Rainforest Lodge everything is built on like pillars, and they have a pretty large walkway system, as you can see behind me. And the walk we are on right now is just a tour through the jungle, not that animal based, but more plant based, and can actually also be a bit interesting. A lot of venomous trees and plants. I didn't know that. Some of them you can get very sick of just touching. So yeah, interesting, but just a small walk. And you can also go here by yourself. There's a torchlight on your room you can bring with you and see if you can spot anything interesting. So if you ended up in this video, it might be because you are in the same situation as we were before we were heading here, because it can be super difficult to know where to start when trying to book a trip out here, because as I said before, none of the booking platforms offer these lodges. You can't go to Booking or Hotels or Agoda or any of those to book these places. So you're probably going to end up directly on the lodge's own homepage or some of the tour operators, and then your next question will be, where should you stay? And the Kinabatanga River is extremely long, and there could be several hours between the different lodges by boat. So my best recommendation is that don't think too much about where to stay, because the animals don't care where you stay. So if you stay 2 hours down the river, you probably see the elephants, or if you stay up here, you can see them, because the elephant, for example, migrates. So sometimes the other lodges further down the river are lucky, and on this trip we were lucky after 10 minutes on the first day. So the place we are staying at right now, if you're traveling with kids, I will absolutely recommend it, because it's very convenient. There's air conditioning on all the rooms. They have bats here, which means that they eat all the mosquitoes, so there's not really a big problem with insects or bugs here. If you are not traveling with kids, or you're more adventurous and you don't care too much about all the luxury, then try some of the other places. There are several places out here, without air conditioning, where you maybe have a fan or something, where you get like the real lodge experience. So super many places. Don't think too much about it. Just find some of the tour operators, find something that looks nice online, compare the prices, and then just book it. And after you booked, everything will be taken care of. So for us, we just show up when they tell us, and then they have some new plan for us. So yeah, get on the internet, get your booking in, and go out here, because this place is absolutely fantastic.
It was on my bike. It's nothing to do with the scout.
So we're straight onto the boat for our afternoon river cruise. It's 4 o'clock, and today we are going further down the river in our search for the big orangutan.
Orangutan and the big orangutan.
The orangutan?
A big one.
The bearded orangutan. So status right now is that we got 4 out of the Borneo Big Five. We also saw the orangutan, but that was in Sibilok in the rehabilitation center. That doesn't really count. So we need to see a live one. So that's what we're after. And also, I would also like to see a big saltwater crocodile on land, so we can really see, you know, the size of it. We just spotted the elephants again, but this time on the other side of the river. So since yesterday I've been crossing the river, which is pretty crazy. They can do that, but yeah, nice.
Just got back after another evening dinner cruise, and this day has been long. We are super tired. I'll put down the camera, go have something to eat, and then it's directly to bed because we have to wake up again tomorrow 5:30 for a morning river cruise. And then after that we are going to the caves to see the bats and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna say goodnight, and I will see you tomorrow.
Good morning. It's 5:30 on day 3, and time for another morning river cruise. Starting to get a bit tired. There's some long days here, but it's gonna be exciting. And later today at around 3 o'clock this afternoon, we are headed for a cave tour where there should be a lot of bats and a lot of different stuff, and also the highest chance of us spotting our last animal on the Big Five, the big orangutan. One thing that I would suggest you to do different than we did is if you're planning your trip to Borneo, then come here direct or go to Sibilok and then go to the Kinabatanga River first, and then book your nice relaxed hotel stay with pool and stuff afterwards, because after 2, 3 or 4 days out here you're gonna get tired. The days are extremely long, so you'll definitely need a couple of days by the pool when you're done. But let's head to the boats and see what we can find this morning. Saw a huge male Proboscis monkey. Oh, there's one more up here. Check it out. just got back to the lodge after another great morning river cruise. Just got a little breakfast, and now for the first time we got about 6 hours of doing nothing until our cave tour this afternoon. I would say we can also feel that the overall tiredness is about to set in. I think every one of us need a small nap before the cave tour. We also talked a little bit about how much time that you need here. They have different kind of tours when you book. You can stay here 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, and I think also they have a long tour, which is 5 nights, 6 days, 5 nights. I would say you can see most stuff if you're just here for the standard 2 nights. Your chances of spotting the Big Five and all the animals are of course larger if you stay here longer, but nothing is really gonna change. Your day's gonna look almost the same. So but for us, you know, I could easily stay here a couple of days more just for the environment and nature. You know, normally we live in Bangkok, so being out here in the nature is pretty nice for a change. So, yeah, this is our last full day, and I think this afternoon the cave tour, the bats, cockroaches, snakes, and our last chance to spot the big orangutan in the wild. So we look forward to that. But now a small nap. So we just managed to get a 2-hour nap, and I just left our lodge, and I'm on the they call the Hornbill Broadwalk, just out here in the middle of nothing in the jungle. You hear all the animals, and then there's a mosque in the distance calling for prayer right now. I can hear, but yeah, nice to be out here. One thing I would mention, because we're traveling with a 4-year-old, I was reading up online a whole lot about, you know, it's dangerous out here. Is there's snakes all over the place, or what about malaria, what about dengue, and what about all the bugs and stuff. And might have mentioned this already, but our guide told us that due to the fact that they are inviting all the bats into the area, we don't really see any mosquitoes at all. We've gotten a total of 2 mosquito bites in combination. I got 1, and Victor got 1 in his forehead, where it was the only place that he didn't have the insect repellent on. But you can easily come here with smaller kids as well. I would say 4 years old are probably the limit, because some of these boat tours can be a bit long, and that's a long time for a child to sit still. But I'm out here, I'm trying to spot any snakes, any dangerous animals, but I haven't seen any. And yeah, not that many bugs, not that many mosquitoes, and everything out here is pretty nice, well organized, and easy place to travel and explore a lot without having to worry too much about insects or any dangerous animals on the boardwalk or anything. So yeah, just a quick note. I'm out here all alone, and I just spotted a big group of long-tailed Marquise monkeys. And to follow up on what I was saying before about dangerous animals, you're thinking about snakes and mosquitoes. The most dangerous animals out here are actually the Marquise monkeys, not because they're gonna kill you or anything, but because they can pretty easily end your holiday or your vacation. They attack you, and right now I'm carrying around my bag, and when you do that, they will look at you and think that you carry food, and you could be in the risk of they coming after you to try and steal your stuff. And in my case, where I have a pretty expensive camera with me, I don't want that gone. So but if they attack you, you just have to give it up. Hopefully they will open it up, see that you got nothing to eat, and then leave it somewhere where you can get it back. But yeah, one thing you have to look out for out here is definitely the Marquise monkeys. Normally we live in Thailand, and when you live in Thailand, my feed, for example, on Facebook or anything else, it's, you get a lot of these videos of this tourist who's getting too close to these monkeys and getting scratched up or bitten, acting like it was nothing. But trust me, if you get bit or scratched by a monkey, that is the end of your holiday, because they carry around so many bacteria and rabies and stuff. So you will spend the next week getting different kind of rabies shots and everything else. So yeah, stay away from them, watch them on distance, and yeah, just stay away. So check this out. This hotel is a 100% eco lodge, which means that there's no pipes or anything running out here. All the water that you take a shower in or you use for your coffee or whatever is directly picked up from rainwater. You can check it out here. They have this area with big containers where they keep all the water. They have like a small explanation here where you can see how it works. But yeah, pretty cool. Just next to the area of this lodge, I can see it from here. I think it's a little difficult to get on camera, but our guide told me that it was a big palm tree plantage. Without being any form of Greta Thunberg or anything like that, that is one of the big problems the jungle have because of the palm oil. Because as the guide told us, that wild animals don't live in the palm trees that they use for these palm oil plantations. It means you don't find any animals out there. If you're lucky, then maybe a marquise would use this to get from one tree to the other. It's gonna drive away all the natural living animals out here. So yeah, not good. Just a small thing I wanted to tell you is that they have these gongs, and they actually have a purpose. Pretty funny. If they ring it once, then it means that it means welcome to new guests. When they ring it 3 times, it means dinner or breakfast is served. When they ring it 6 times, it means that they have spotted a orangutan near the resort or the lodge to gather all the guests for them to see it. So it's almost 3 o'clock on our final day here at Sukau Rainforest Lodge, and it's time for us to go on our final excursion, which is the big caves. It's also going to be our last chance to spot the orangutan in its habitat, in the nature. And we're told that we should be aware with this excursion that there is a lot of bats and there is thousands of cockroaches as well. It's going to be super exciting. We are crossing our fingers that we're seeing more than just the bats and the cockroaches, and we're also going to see the big man of the forest, the big orangutan. Crossing our fingers. And by the way, if you're still here watching this video, then consider giving it a like. And if you stick around a little longer, then I will also give you a full disclosure of how much we ended up paying for 4 days, 3 nights here at the Sukau Rainforest Lodge on the Kinabatanga River. So far, I can tell you that if you are thinking about doing the same trip, then the trip we are on is with the Eco Tours. They're not sponsoring. My channel is too small to get any of that going, but Eco Tours, and we went on the tour called the Orangutan Search, which is a 4 days, 3 night tour where you can choose between the deluxe rooms or villas that we have chosen. But stick around a little longer, then I will tell you how much it ended up costing us, 2 grown-ups and our son, Victor. Arrived out here after a 10-minute boat ride and a 20-minute bus ride. We're out here with the cave. I think it's a small trek now. Get to the cave in time to see all the bats flying out. Should be around 3 or 4 million bats. So yeah, that's a lot. So, we just arrived to the cave. I have a helmet on. We have masks on for the gases of the feces from the bats. Oh, check it out, check it out. And this place is crazy. While you're enjoying the fantastic views, it's raining with feces, cockroaches all over. We're having a good time. every step you take here, you sink in like a half an inch in poo. So other than being a hotspot for bats to hang out at and a place for tourists to go visit, this cave also serves as a big or large place to harvest the very expensive Chinese delicacy, the bird's nest. This cave is filled up by bird's nest, and the house just down there is the place where the guys harvesting these bird's nests live when they're getting ready for harvest. So you will live in here for several days. I don't know how good that is for your health, but that's how it is here. Nasty AF. So that was pretty cool. Millions of cockroaches. And hopefully in half an hour all of the bats will fly out, and hopefully I'm gonna get some good pictures for that. Right now I need to wash my hands. I just got shat on by the bats. So up in this tree behind me up here, I'll change my lens so you can see it better. You can see the orangutan's nest. Unfortunately it's an old one, but should be a sign that some orangutan is hanging out in the neighborhood. So we're still crossing our fingers that it will show up while we are here waiting for all the bats to exit the cave. It's so hard with filming. I don't even know how good the sound will be on this one. Susan got the other camera, and Victor is sitting in the air condition in the bus. I'm out here trying to spot some snakes, and all the guys are laughing at me. Just heard the sound of what they said, like the kissing sound the orangutan makes. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that when you're out here wildlifing on Borneo, you're changing your lens all the time. This one is not really ideal for running around filming yourself. But then you see a hornbill, and then you need the long lens because you have to film in the top of the trees. Also the orangutan will be on top of the trees. And then you see some insects or stuff on the ground, and then you need the shorter lens. So I'm just changing all the time. I'll try to look for a snake or hopefully a orangutan. So still I'm out here risking it and still trying to spot the big orangutan in real life. We were told that a male orangutan controls an area of between 10 and 20 square kilometers, which means that that area is his domain. You have maybe seen these different kind of orangutan where they have like the big beard and the big-faced orangutan. When an orangutan male is dominating an area or finding a new area where he sees that there are not other male orangutan who's in control of that area, then it can increase its own testosterone production, hence why they grow the big face and big neck. This also means that in the wild it's super difficult to spot them. It's very easy to see the nest. When I look up here I can see 2 or 3 different orangutan nests because they change their home every single night. Build a new nest, and it takes them between 2 and 5 minutes to build a nest for the night. So they're all over the place. And a way that you can see how long time it's been since the orangutan was there is simply look at the leaves. If it's green leaves, it's probably still there, or it left yesterday. If it's brownish or reddish, you know that the leaves are dead, and it's probably been a few days since the orangutan was there. But I'm still crossing my fingers that we'll spot one here on our last day in the jungle. We already saw semi-wild orangutan in Sibilok. So if we don't spot them, we simply just need to come back here. We definitely will anyway.
You saved me? You have to save me if it's come. Oh. Can you see it? It's right here. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is the male. Oh my goodness.
This is orangutan.
Oh, I'm so afraid, sorry. Oh, I saw it. My god, I'm so lucky. I get so... Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. How is that possible? Hello, little man. I'm just sitting here. No. Do they know there's a big monkey? If they can walk, we can also, right?
So at the time,
I can pass? I can go? Thank you. Thank you. It's right. Ooh. It's a big male. So, I'm really scared. I walk fast.
A few moments later.
I've just been running. There's a big orangutan next to me. Check it out. Check it out. Wow. Man, this is crazy. Like 5 meters of a big male orangutan. What a way to end the vacation. And I think there's some family behind us because there's one more behind me right now. Check it out how close it is. You can see him. Now he's moving. It's big. That's a big male, the best. Wow. We've just been so extremely lucky on this trip. 10 minutes the first day we saw the elephants, which are rare. And normally people see the orangutan on a distance through their long lenses and they see the so small females. But here, big male flinched orangutan with the testosterone orangutan, the big head. He's just sitting here like 4 meters from where we're walking. Man, what a way to end the trip. But yeah, man, this trip and that orangutan just made a whole Borneo trip worthwhile. What an animal. Wow.
Eventually my new Australian buddy Emmett made it up here as well, while his dad was still completely unaware up at the viewpoint. So for a little while it was just the two of us getting front row seats to one of the coolest wildlife moments of the whole trip.
I don't think I've been so excited since I was 8-9 years old going to a Danish amusement park called Bonbonland. We're paying a fortune for this trip, paying a fortune for the guides, and it ended up being Susan who casually walked down from like a small hilltop alone, and then the big French male orangutan came down towards her. We both had these fancy Garmin watches on, and the pulse went all the way up to 200, which shouldn't be possible when you're almost 40 years old. Oh, so we got our Borneo Big Five, ended the trip with the big French orangutan males. And I'll tell you something that even the local guides got excited, because normally you see the orangutan with a bee in the distance high up in the trees, and you're gonna see a female with her kid. The chances of seeing these big male orangutan are close to being zero. And here is the winner who spotted it. Yay! Wow.
just got back to the hotel, and yeah, we spotted the Borneo 5, but on our way back with the boat, driving full speed, we hit a big lock, so we almost, yeah, to be honest, the boat was almost capsizing. We were, yeah, that was, so my pulse is up here again. So first the orangutan, then I calmed down, and then we almost fell in the water driving home with the boat. It's completely dark, the boat was going full speed, and we hit a big lock, so it was just going, yeah, it was close. But now we're back at the hotel for some dinner and a big beer. Wow, what a day. Good morning, guys. It is around 8 o'clock in the morning here on day 4, and it's time for us to leave this incredible place here deep in the jungle, the Sukau Rainforest Lodge. I say this trip has been absolutely fantastic. At the age of 38, I've been many places in the world, visited a lot of large cities and islands, but nothing beats or can compare to a trip into the jungle. Already on day 1, on our first river cruise, after about 10 minutes, we spotted the Pygmy Elephants, which I can understand can be quite difficult to see on a trip here. Then we went on to see the hornbill, the proboscis monkey, the saltwater crocodile, and then yesterday we were again extremely lucky. Spotted the big man of the forest, the big orangutan. It wasn't the guide, it wasn't locals, it was actually my girlfriend Susan. She was coming back down from a viewpoint all by herself, and then this enormous orangutan just came down at her, like we're talking 4 meters. She ran past it and yelled at me, and then I ran up the stairs, and then I saw him as well, and I think I got some great footage. I will try to put it into context that seeing a wild orangutan here can be difficult in the first place. Normally you would see it somewhere in the distance on a treetop where you'll need a very good camera to catch a close-up of it. Then it will most likely be a female with her kid, but we were so lucky that we saw a big, full-grown, blenched male orangutan on a distance of 3 to 4 meters. That was, yeah, incredible. I will round this video up, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you will give it a like, and I also hope that I inspired some of you who are watching it to book your next vacation or trip or adventure out here in the jungle. And if you have kids, listen, you can easily go here, yeah, with family. It is not as dangerous as Google or different AIs may tell you it is. We haven't seen any snakes, nothing out here, and the mosquitoes are an absolute minimum. I think we got caught by a total of 3 mosquitoes. That was it. So go out here. What we ended up paying for this experience at the Sukau Rainforest Lodge, and let me tell you, this is not the cheapest way you can do it, but it's definitely the most comfortable. We went with the tour called Orangutan Search with the Eco Tours. Again, not sponsored, but I will put a link down here because I think that everybody has to experience this. We paid a total of $4,500 US for 4 days, 3 nights. That's everything included, boat transfers from Sandakan, which is 2.5 hours each way. It's all the tours, it's all the food. Anything extras out here can be rental of binoculars, or it could be drinks in the evenings at the bar. But yeah, that's what we ended up paying for everything. So again, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, or if you want to see more of my content on this channel, most likely from Thailand in the future, then please consider subscribing as well. Otherwise, we will see each other in the next one. Bye bye.